Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to my Twitch channel. Today, I decided to play something different, something that I haven't played on this particular channel ever before. Obviously, I played it quite a lot on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. Links should be somewhere below the stream. Yeah, I'm fairly sure I put my YouTube channel there as well. If you want to know more about this game or find out more about Train Driver 2, which is the game that I'm going to be playing today, you can check out my YouTube channel. There's quite a lot of information there. However, today I will just chill. So we will be driving in Poland today, using some of the rolling stock that was popular between 60s and 90s, well, even year 2000. Well, some of them are used till this day, so that's kind of the thing about Polish railway. It's not the richest country, so obviously railways suffer from the same issues as the country. And unfortunately, well, we are still using stuff from 60s. But I have to admit, those trains have their own unique charm. And, well, today we will be driving some of those locomotives. Right, so the game is multiplayer. So obviously we will be playing in multiplayer. So let's hop in and let's check out what today's stream is all about, shall we? Even I don't know. Okay, so there we go. That's the screen. Perfect. Right, so we will be driving train, so I'm not gonna jump in as a dispatcher. You can play as a dispatcher in this game, and every other dispatcher that we will meet is most likely to be a human. So we have to bear that in mind. Right, for my first consist, I prepared something that is very common in Eastern Poland, or a locomotive that is very common to be used in Eastern Poland, where not all of the railways are adjusted for higher speeds and more modern consist. So we will start off with diesel locomotive that is going to be pulling 4 passenger wagons for local, let's say, commuter train. Right, so there we go. Oh, no. Okay, I got everything set up. So where shall we go? We might jump in to which station should we start on? Perhaps let's start at Hell. Okay, there we are. Perfect. Right, let's set up the camera. Yeah, we definitely need to sit a little bit higher. Perhaps that will be good perspective. No, that's a bit too high, isn't it? Yeah, that is much better. There we go. Perfect. Right, so most likely we will have to maneuver a little bit. Perfect. Okay, that's our train. Fantastic. Okay, for now we should be good. Let's put on external view. Yeah, just as I expected. We are on a siding. So we will have to wait. There is no catenary on this station, so only diesel locomotives can access it. Right, let's set the camera. There we go. Is that far enough? Yeah, I think that should be far enough. Let's lock this camera. Perfect. Okay, now jump back into the cabin and get out of the train. Okay, looks like we are ready for maneuvers. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, and lights are on. Fantastic. Right, so for now we have to wait for the dispatcher to issue us a timetable. So until then, we may as well have a look around. Oh, there we go, that's a rail bus. Looks like that's end platform. We won't be using this one. Okay, very likely we will be heading to one of those platforms. Okay, now I can send my analysis. There we go. Always make sure to have your analysis ready for the dispatcher. When they ask you, they will eventually issue you a timetable that you can follow. Obviously, since everything is operated by actual humans, you can sometimes expect delays. Also, since the game is located in Poland and it's most likely, well, most popular in or among Polish rail fans, you can expect some of the people to not really know English, which is not the biggest of a deal. You can always use any kind of translator to translate the messages. They are usually very simple and related to what you are supposed to do, so there's like really not too big of a challenge. Right, not much is happening on this station, but oh, there we go. Let's teleport back to the locomotive. Do we have a maneuvering signal? Technically, yes. Okay, so let's see. Wow, that is a nice timetable. Hello Marcel, nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Okay. We can now proceed onto the platform. Oh, nice. So you are at Chermin. Well, for me, Chermin is the final destination. I should reach it at 7:27. So in less than 1.5 hours. Yeah. Okay, at the platform I will have to change direction of travel. So, in general, what I will have to do is to stop my train, disconnect the wagons, and move my locomotive around to connect it at the other end. Because this is an end station, and that's the way how you turn around in Poland. We don't use a cabin at the end of the train. That's really not a thing in Poland, unlike, let's say, German trains. So we have to use sidings and other tracks to actually turn the train around. Every single locomotive or train in Poland is equipped with 2 cabins on its own, so it's not really that big of a deal. Right. Okay, perfect. Right. So now I have to get off the train and decouple my train. Sometimes it requires to release the brakes, set the reverser backwards, and give the train a tiny bit of a push. Okay. Now we should be able to decouple. Perfect. Release the brakes. Set the reverser forward. And we can roll. Perfect. Signal J. I need to go past the junction. Preferably all the way to that signal. So that I can switch directions. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, definitely, but it's not the fastest system. So if you got trains that run very often, obviously maneuvering operations take that precious time that you may not have. So there is a benefit of having a cabin at the other end of the train, so that you can just walk all the way to the other end, board the cabin, set everything up, and just carry on. Obviously maneuvering around the train takes much longer, because you still have to adhere to all the rules. You got very strict speed limits while maneuvering. In fact, the speed is limited down to 20 kilometers per hour, unless specified otherwise by the dispatcher. And on top of that, you got other trains that are moving around. So if the station is busy, which may be a thing, then you obviously have to wait. Right, I think I have to go all the way to that signal, which is quite far. Is it? Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Soon we will connect with our wagons, and then we will be able to depart from that station. Just a bit more. Okay, now we should be ready. Okay, the train is coupled. Let's go to the other end and make sure that end lights are turned on. Yes, they are. Okay, perfect. Now, let's set the lights. Okay, now we can lock this screen. Perfect. And now we can depart. Three minutes late, but that's not an issue, to be honest. Those things happen, especially when you have to maneuver, because as you can see, that takes a long time, so you have to design timetables to actually accommodate for that. If you don't do it, then obviously people will struggle to perform those maneuvers on time. Anyway, we are now departing. Our next stop is Winiary Towarowy. Now we are going to pass through Winiary Towarowy. And the actual stop is at Winiary. Okay. Oops. Need to pay more attention to the alerter. Okay. Now we can speed up. Okay, the trucks are going uphill from what I can see. Yeah, we are not really gaining any speed. Oh, okay, that was a bridge. Okay, let's give a thumbs up to the dispatcher. Yes, it is. Right, what was that speed limit? I think it was 60, is it? Oh, no, no. That wasn't a speed limit. Was it? Yeah, that was railroad crossing. Oops. I have to admit that driving SM42 in the opposite direction than all the clocks is kind of annoying, because as you can see I have to pay attention to my speed as well as the road up ahead. And there is no additional speedometer on this side. So it's not the most comfortable way of driving. But we'll get there, we'll get there. There we go. Oh, speed limit is 60. I am doing just a little bit over. Okay. Speed is dropped. Perfect. We should now be alright. Yeah, we are doing like 50. There we go. That's alerter. Yeah, let's hold it at 50 for now. tiny bit of throttle. Hopefully that will keep our speed at the right level. According to timetable, I'm expecting speed limit to go down to 50, which is perfectly fine because I'm doing 45. Oh, okay, I'm closing in on 60. Oh, there we go. We will finally merge with a main line that is actually electrified. There we go. So now we are at this junction. We were supposed to be here 4 minutes ago. Not a big deal. It always takes that precious time to maneuver, and we will have another stop like that at Aleksandrów Kujawski. Okay, we are doing 45, perfect speed. Okay, looks like the next semaphore will require us to slow down to 40 or 60. But looking at this station, I expect 40 kilometers per hour. So let's give it a touch on the brakes. Okay, our speed should go down to 40. And there we go, I can already see the semaphore up in the distance. Looks like this station is equipped with mixed type semaphores, so we will have some old ones and some new ones. Okay, there we go. And now we are approaching the platforms. Where we will perform a stop. Okay, according to timetable, that was supposed to be a 3-minute stop, but since we are late, I will cut it down to 1 minute. Okay, I will begin a brake application. And there we go. I can already see that the signal in front of us has changed. But we will have to wait for the passengers to board the train. I can actually move to this seat. Yeah, entire train managed to actually fit into the platform, which is good. I was afraid that I started to brake a little bit too early. I will quickly jump off. Yeah, okay, the last wagon is in the platform, in fact. Now we can set off. Okay, soon we will be able to speed up all the way to 90. Is it? No, 70. Oh, there we go. Okay, and we got another stop in here at Winiary Starołęka. Not far away from our previous stop. Oh my goodness me, this is a very small stop. There we go. That is a quick 30-second stop. As you can see, the platform is so small that they don't really actually have a platform. Oh my goodness me. How poor must the village be to not even get like a tarmac on the platform or something like. Oh my goodness me. Right, anyway. I think that was enough time for the passengers to board. Let's release the brakes. And there we go. You know, if the village is so small that, like, the villagers count is below 100 or something, and the train is going through, and it still has to stop in some circumstances, which is barely worth it in many occasions. But back in the days, that was actually a thing, when railways were fully state-controlled. Many places that these days wouldn't even get a train station, those places had an actual working train stations, and trains were actually making stops there. In these days, obviously, that's not a thing. Many smaller stations were outed out, and like they are now neglected and not used anymore. Or there is one train a day that actually stops there. So yeah, that used to be a thing. Okay, we are about to reach the end of the scenery, and it doesn't look like it's gonna load before I will reach it. We will have the loading screen again. There we go. You know, I started to stream on Twitch just for a test. Whether I will stay or not depends on how popular the streams will be, because obviously, like, I'm fully established on YouTube, yeah, and the logical thing would be to stay there. But if Twitch community will, like, gather around, I will get enough followers to reach all those affiliates and stuff. And if like streaming on Twitch will be worthwhile for me, I might even move entire live content to Twitch, which is, I think, well, it sounds like a better platform for live content than YouTube, but obviously things might quickly change. Right, I can go all the way to 90. Obviously, when I perform that stop, I will have to turn my train around. I got plenty of time according to timetable, but I'm already late. Okay. I will have to slow down to 40 or 60 at the next semaphore. And according to my route knowledge, in that case, I'm fairly sure that the next semaphore will be showing 40. So I'm gonna slow down. Okay, I think I'm slowing down at fast enough rate. Perhaps not. Okay. Ooh, now I overdone it. I completely forgot that there is that long siding that I could use to slow down at, like, first level of braking. Is it better on Twitch? Well, Twitch has some unique features that I could use for my streams. Definitely, like, better chat API that allows me to do some more stuff that would get my audience a little bit more involved into stream is something that YouTube doesn't have. Yeah, it opens me some possibilities to play some games that I really like and that might be really fun to play with the audience. Like, I always wanted to do a stream for the game called Marbles, which is basically a marble race where my Twitch viewers can actually sign in for the race while watching my stream, and their marble would appear on the on the racetrack, yeah, and like we can have some fun with that game. And there are plenty more games like that everywhere around, and they unfortunately doesn't work on YouTube. So obviously that's the YouTube's problem. I can stream game like, let's say, Train Driver, but there is absolutely no integration between me and my audience. So that's something that I've been missing, and I think that's the selling point of Twitch, that their API is well designed for live content, but it's absolute rubbish for let me just focus, for videos. Yeah, you can't really post a video that will stay forever on Twitch. Right, let me just focus on what I'm doing. Okay, wagon's decoupled. I need to set my lights. So is it better on Twitch? Well, we'll see. Another thing about, like, when it comes to differences between Twitch and YouTube is that, well, I find that there is much less trolls on YouTube. So that's another selling point of YouTube against Twitch, yeah? Like, I've been streaming on Twitch for like 3 days already. And during last night's stream, I actually had a first troll already, like second stream. My channel wasn't discovered by someone who actually... well, you can't moderate someone who just follows and unfollows your channel. That's not something that this platform supports, yeah? So it's being dealt differently. We'll see how Twitch will sort it out. Yeah, so basically that's the way how people now troll on Twitch. They are getting more creative as much as Twitch is like putting barriers in front of them, yeah? And since Twitch API is very flexible when it comes to doing various different things, that also opens a lot of possibility for trolls, which they can't get on YouTube, yeah? On YouTube, when they get banned, it's basically impacting their entire YouTube accounts, yeah. While on Twitch, yeah, I got banned, yeah. I can now make a new account within like 5 or 10 minutes, you know. So while it's better when it comes to like a streamer to audience interaction, it's worse when it comes to streamer protection against malicious behaviors. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how well Twitch will eventually react to my appearance. And hopefully I will be able to figure something out that will be good solution for both platforms. Right, did I actually went far enough? I don't think I did. Yeah, that wasn't far enough. Oh, okay, that's the semaphore I was looking for. Yeah, technically, but like IP can be changed quite easily. So it's not a perfect solution. While when it comes to Google, it's much harder to bypass because it will impact your entire Google account, yeah? And setting up a Google account is a little bit more problematic. Especially that now they got that YouTube Kids and stuff like that, so obviously you have to go through some sort of verifications now. I don't know how it works. So basically, in terms of my content that I do on YouTube, it will not show to a new Google account at all, because that Google account needs to be verified and stuff. So again, that extra layers of protection is actually somewhat working, because bot users are usually a bit too lazy, yeah, because when they lose a bot, it's permanent, yeah. So since it's much easier to recover a bot on Twitch, they stay on Twitch, yeah. And if Twitch wants to do something about it, then again, it will ruin the best thing about their own platform, yeah. So this is the problem that they are facing. Because now they can choose between ruining their own platform that they built and removing all those nice things that actually works, or let me just finish what I'm doing. Perfect. Now I can turn that off and set this one and this one. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm ready to depart. The only thing that is preventing me from doing so is signals. Oh yeah, and finally, last thing about Twitch. Twitch is actually hindering my video quality a little bit, which is another thing that I'm a little bit concerned. However, it's still good enough. So normally what I do on YouTube, I stream in around 9,000 kilobits for 1080p video, which gives me really nice quality for a stream. Here on Twitch, I am limited down to 6,000, which is a third less. So obviously, from time to time, you will see the video quality to be a little bit worse, especially during what was I supposed to say? Especially when you play back the stream that has already finished. So yeah, there are some good things and bad things about both platforms, and well, right now I'm trying to discover the best solution. Okay. Oh, no. I'm not gonna do that. Me streaming on Reddit is not going to happen. Same goes to Facebook. In fact, there is a story about Facebook and my account. It basically got banned as soon as I created it. So I was trying to make a Facebook account for Fluffy Armchair Admiral as a brand and as a YouTube channel, content creator, and so on and so forth. The problem is that as soon as I created my actual Facebook account, which I need to have for my actual name, surname, and all that stuff, then I proceeded to create a brand account for an actual brand, which would be Fluffy Armchair Admiral. And as soon as I finished, I posted a very first post to say hello to everyone on like a platform, and the post even didn't went through because my account got banned on the spot, just for nothing. I just created the account, everything was perfectly legal. I double checked that everything will follow Facebook's policies and stuff. And apart from me not uploading my actual picture to my own account, which I created separately from the brand account, everything was perfectly fine, yeah? My personal details, everything was as it should be. Well, unfortunately, Facebook is not taking that. Yeah, it won't, but I know some of my viewers that are using Facebook. I've been asked about it in a few occasions, and I was trying to actually do something, even though I'm not super fan of those social media, and apart from Twitter, I'm not using any. In fact, I don't count Discord as a social media. It's like for me it's voice communicator and stuff. So sometimes I'm actually chatting with people on Discord, but again, I'm not the greatest social media fan, and Facebook just established my opinion about them, or ensured that my previous opinion that this platform is absolute rubbish. They just confirmed that, yeah, with that one step. I even appealed that ban that happened clearly by some sort of their automatic bot system or whatever. But it was upheld by someone who actually reviewed that. So they clearly state, yeah, it's illegal for you to create your own actual account and brand account, so that you can manage your brand account. Yeah, so both accounts got banned. So yeah, this platform is rubbish, unless you pre-sign an agreement with them where you are super famous and they really want you and they're gonna do everything that it takes to get you on the platform to actually advertise it. They will do everything to put the barriers in front of you, yeah? Even if you want to do that and eventually get some appearance on their platform and make it more popular for content creators to advertise and stuff. So yeah, that's Facebook for you, yeah? This platform was rubbish from the very beginning when it started. It was a nice idea, unique idea, and that's how it blew up. But yeah, right now it's absolute rubbish. Right, so we are now heading to Barchevko, where we should be just now. Okay, I need... Okay. There we go, that's what I need. Okay, we can now speed up to 80, which for this locomotive is almost at the very limit. There we go. Okay, the next station is just up ahead. There we go. Oh. I was scared that I will overshoot this station. But I made it. Just the right spot at the middle of the station. Although I had to brake a little bit hard. Right, let's release the brakes, and I think we are ready to carry on. Okay. So now we are heading to Krzemienice. And then we will follow up to Lisiecki. Speed will go down to 60. Oh, looks like semaphore C is showing me a red light. So I will keep my speed low so that I can stop in front of that semaphore. Yeah, I think I can already see it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. There we go. We can proceed to another semaphore. Okay, the platforms are just up ahead. Okay, and we got very, very long stopping here, which is pretty good. I actually like those longer stops. Sometimes they allow me to relax, especially if I'm driving something like SM42. Okay. Let's start braking. We should stop in front of that semaphore. Just perfect. There we go. Okay, so now we got few minutes before our departure. So I'll be right back with you. Alright, so I'm back. We got 2 more minutes before we can depart. Hopefully. Because everything also depends on dispatcher. And currently, we can't proceed. There we go, that's a different perspective. Unfortunately, the game has quite limited camera angles. So there's not much I can do. That's our lovely train. Oh, there we go. We got departure signal. So when the time is right, we will set off. Okay, let's change the camera. Let's get ready. Okay, we can now release the brakes. And let's get going. Okay, so that was Krzemienice. Next stop, Lisiczki at 7:16. Oh wow, this locomotive is really struggling. Oh, perhaps that's why. Welcome back. Nice to see you here. Right, we can speed up all the way to 70. Ah, there we go. Next scenery is loading. Okay, we are approaching 60 km/h speed limit. I'm gonna give it a touch on the brakes, just to make sure to reduce my speed a little bit. Okay, that should be enough. Oh, there we go. The scenery almost managed to load. You could see the textures popping up, but yeah, the game was not fast enough. And there we go, that's the 60 kilometer. Tram sim. Could do. Like, I don't have this game, so I would need to buy it, but it's not impossible. I'm more than happy to try this game if there's enough people willing to watch it, because obviously making any sort of content takes time and sometimes money, and if there's like 2 people watching it, then they might as well search for other content from content creators that actually specialize in that. But yeah, I'm more than happy to feature any sort of simulation game on this channel. I don't really buy games from G2A. I don't really trust the origin of their codes. It's not always legal where they get the codes, and I'm concerned with that. But definitely, I will look forward to actually feature Tram Sim. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I don't blame anyone who buys things from G2A. I just don't do it personally, because I don't trust that it won't get my account banned, and I got too many games to actually lose. Okay, there is a 20 km/h speed limit on this railroad crossing. Probably I will get prompted. Or maybe not. Fair enough. There was supposed to be a 20 km/h speed limit on that railroad crossing that I just passed. The game still didn't prompt me that I'm speeding. So I guess that's fine. And anyway, I'm pulling into the platform, so that doesn't really make any difference. And I'm here just on time. Right, 35 euros for Transim. That's interesting. I will have to look how much content does this game offer for that 35 euros, because let's face it, if that's just like 1 or 2 routes around Vienna, then that's a bit expensive, to be honest. DLCs, wow, so they feature different trams, I believe. Oh, the train wasn't slowing down. I literally had to resolve to emergency braking to actually stop my train. There's something wrong. Good luck on the next station. Fair enough. Okay. I think we can now depart. Okay, with a tiny bit of delay, we managed to leave the station, and hopefully at the next one we will be able to stop properly. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit expensive. But again, I will look into how much content does Transim offer, and I might pick it up as soon as I can. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything, because there's also what is that? SimRail that is about to be released somewhere soon. I'm not exactly sure when. I know that the demo is coming out at the beginning of next month. So I will definitely look into that. If they launch pre-orders, I will look into that. When it comes to Transim, yeah, that's... if I can squeeze it into my finances or pick it up at promo, I will definitely look into featuring this game, yes. There is no rush, though, because, like, I don't see any big rush into that. Right, anyway, we are doing 60, approaching our next destination, which is Czermin Południa. We are now a little bit late. But on this scenery, I will be able to push this locomotive to its very limits. So hopefully... yeah, I guess everyone is waiting for SimRail at some point. Because providing what this game promised to offer, it is really gonna be a serious competition to Dovetail and their Train Sim World 2 and Train Simulator. So I really look forward to it. Okay, at the end of this timetable, I'm not gonna get a new one. I think it will be appropriate to change the consist. Anyway, for now, I have to worry about getting into the platform in a correct way. In fact, what I might do, which will be very useful to me, is I will do that, and hopefully that won't hinder my oops, I didn't notice that signal. But I'm fairly sure that I'm approaching next station. Also, the thing that I wanted to do is this. There we go. Oh, tram sim is about, yeah, a single route with 40-50 minutes. That's way too expensive for 35 euros, to be honest. There we go, we are now approaching the next station. Oh, there we go. Seems like my brakes are working correctly this time. That's good. Okay. And in just 2 minutes we will be able to finish this route, which marks the first route that we've done today. Perfect. Right, brakes off. Okay, the speed limit of this semaphore is 100 kilometers per hour, with next semaphore showing 40 or 60 kilometers per hour speed limit. And in case of this station, it is going to be 60. Why you can't connect to SWDR4? have you actually started or hosted a station? Also, have you checked if there were any complaints against you? Maybe somebody complained against you and you got a warning or suspension. So you should always check that, especially after your service, if there is somebody who actually had a serious complaint. Because maybe you just did something wrong, you didn't know about it, or you had an argument with someone and they placed a complaint, and obviously since you didn't defend yourself, like, administration might have given you some suspension. Or maybe there is like a temporary issue. I don't know. I haven't checked SWDR for quite a long time now. It's been ages since I've been dispatching. But yeah, if I wouldn't be able to log into SWDR, I would probably check the forums and look if there were any complaints against me, or if I was suspended for something. Because then you can appeal it if you got any proofs to counteract that suspension. If not, you will have to wait until it's over. Okay, we are now pulling into the platform. Hopefully. Ouch! So you are at work and you are watching Twitch. Wow, you're lucky. If I could watch like Twitch or YouTube at work, that would be brilliant. Unfortunately, I don't have time for that. Okay, anyway. We are now stopped at the station. Oh, you're going... I see. I see. Ouch. Right, anyway, our beautiful train has just arrived at its final destination. Let me just grab a nice screenshot. Yeah, that will be very useful for YouTube. Okay, perhaps another screenshot. There we go. Thumbs up. Okay, so we have finished this route. So we may now get back to the menu. Right, so that was our first trip. Obviously there will be more today. But before that will happen, I will take a short break. Because, yeah, nearly 2 hours straight in front of the monitor for my old body is like just enough. So, guys, I'll be back with you in 5 to 10 minutes, I guess. Alright, I'm back. Sorry to keep you waiting for a bit longer than I expected. Anyway, right, Mr. Skytrick. Oh, now I see. If it works on other sceneries, you might have either lost access to that specific scenery you wanted to host. From what I know, that's some of the sceneries require some sort of like permissions from scenery creators. It might be that somebody else started this scenery before you, or you just have to refresh the page and then try again after you host it. Because sometimes it takes a few minutes for SWDR to actually detect that you are hosting this specific scenery. So yeah, there are multiple reasons why you might not be able to log into that. Unfortunately, I can't investigate it for you. Right, anyway, we are back, and now it's time to drive some more trains, shall we? I think it will be appropriate to grab some freight train. Yes. Let me just update my number for a freight train. There we go. Driver mode. Now, we have a... Well, I got three freight trains that I pre-designed. But there are some that are already designed by the game. Yeah. Decisions. I think I will take... Which one should I take? That is the question. That's EU07, that's ET41. Nah. I think I'm gonna take my ET41. Okay. Let's take ET41. Freight train. 550 meters long. 2923 tons heavy. With a top speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Perfect. So we will take some coal today, yes. Okay, that sounds good. In fact, I'm supposed to copy this. There we go. And now, where should we start? Perhaps at Arcadia Zdrój. Yeah, that would be probably a good idea. Yeah, let's jump in there. And also... let's switch the screen. Perfect. Okay, now let's set the camera. Perhaps that will be good. A little bit lower. Don't need to be that high. Perhaps, yeah, that will be good. Okay. Okay, so the camera is locked. Let's set external camera. There we go, a little bit rust bucket. Yeah, those are our wagons. Perfect. Okay, that is sorted. Right. Now, so we need to set our brake types to freight. And let's raise the pantograph for now. Let's turn on gauge lights. Let's turn on cabin lights. I actually prefer to drive with this one. Front lights or headlights if you prefer it. Perfect. Okay. Camera reset. Let's take a nice screenshot. Beautiful. Perhaps another one. Lovely. Ooh, there is actually another ET41 waiting on the siding right next to me. That is gonna be interesting. And this guy is also pulling. Coal wagons. Oh my goodness me, that's another long train. Right. I need to be very careful because there is a train that's gonna pass through this station. But yeah, it looks like our trains are pretty much around the same length. That is really nice. I wonder, is there any overpass? I might take a nice screenshot. You have 634 meters. So, is that you on that station? No, I don't think it's you. Or is it? Oh my goodness me. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, mine is only 550 meters and 2,900 tons. Let's see if I can get to that signal box. Yeah, I think I can. Ah, beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh. Ah, that is awesome. That's absolutely awesome. 3 massive freight trains on the same station. Oh, there we go. I got my timetable. Ooh, I will be starting at 8:37 unless things will improve. Let's see. How long is it? Ooh, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, and the dispatcher promised that he will try to send me out a little bit sooner. So that's nice. That is really nice. Okay, let me try and set up for a nice screenshot. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, looks like he derailed. That's very unusual. Usually the tracks are sunk in between those tiles. Never noticed that they are actually laying above them this time. Right, Skytrick, what he said to you is that you will depart before your departure time. As a freight train, it doesn't really matter unless they can, well, as long as they can secure the route for you, they will try to do that. Yeah, so the dispatcher declared that he will try to send you ahead of that time. So observe the signal in front of you. When it changes, you are able to depart. Oh, looks like he will be departing just now. There you go. Have a nice journey. You can also lower the front pantographs now. There you go. Oh wow, that is a long train. There we go. Lovely. So now I have to wait up to 37 minutes, I guess. It all depends how soon dispatcher will be able to secure the route for me. And obviously how long it will take you to get to the end of the scenery. Okay. Oh, I'm fairly sure that yeah, switches for my junction. Yeah, my junctions are already being set. So I believe that I will be able to depart as soon as you leave the scenery. Perfect. Unless the train that is going through the station right now will have a higher priority. I will be able to depart. We'll see, we'll see. Some more screenshots. Oh, I sense a disaster here. This guy is not supposed to go through this junction. Is he? Oh, never mind. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. absolutely amazing what is happening on this station today. Right, hopefully we will be able to depart really soon. I don't think I'm fancy waiting up until 8:37, which means that another 29 minutes I would have to spend on this station. We shall see how busy it's gonna be. Right, this signal is still showing proceed. Those are manual signals, so unfortunately dispatcher has to change them on his own. They won't change automatically when the train goes next to them, as opposed to modern signals which will actually do that. Okay, this station has become very, very silent. I'm actually surprised, but those clocks seems to be working. Let's have a look. Is that clock works? Or is this just... No, it works! It actually works. Wow, that's nice. See, so it's not only modern games that have working clocks. This is another game where the clocks are actually working. Okay. We are now ready to depart. Well, in just a minute. Because obviously my signal is still showing SR1. Which means stop. There we go. Okay. Let's get this train on the move. Front pantograph goes down. There we go. That's nice. That's a nice thing about driving freight train in Train Driver 2. You get all those perks of being a freight train. Like, both positive and negative, yeah? I think during one of my first runs in this game when I started, I had to wait for nearly an hour and a half on a single semaphore, because there were several passenger and express trains that had to pass in front of me. So while, yeah, one might say, okay, it's boring to stay at one semaphore for that long, but that's the realistic way of doing things, yeah? You are the lowest priority of train. So, at some point, you might be held at a signal for a long period of time. Yeah, like 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 15, even 20, yeah, that's fine, I'm okay with that. 1.5 seems like a lot, but, well, for the realism purposes, sometimes you have to wait. But that was the longest time I personally had to wait. It also depends how busy tracks are, yeah? Today, well, it's Saturday, so we might expect a little bit more trains on the tracks, because there's more players that can actually spend time and play. We might also see traffic that will be running on the tracks for a little bit longer. Right, let me turn on UI and let's speed up to 80. There we go. That's full throttle. And soon we should reach 80 kilometers per hour. Whoa! Well, I'm also moving, just trying to leave Arcadia Zdrój. Finally got my signal for departure. 20 minutes ahead of time, roughly. So hopefully I will reach Legno long before 9:40. and then I will be able to grab another service. Nope. Okay, let's let it coast. I'm speeding a little bit, going over 80. Just slightly, though. Ooh, I might actually use brakes. Okay, that should be enough. By the time they release, I should be slightly below 80 kilometers per hour. That's perfectly fine. And we are approaching Gdańsk. Yes, Gdańsk is a very interesting scenery. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's gonna take ages for my brakes to release now. But have no fear, I can always increase the throttle. Ouch, yeah, that happens. I remember it happened to me once. I stopped at... where was it? Czermin, yes. I was stopped at Czermin for like 20 minutes or something. I pulled into to the semaphore on the siding. And when the semaphore finally changed to allow me to continue, I couldn't move. My locomotive was absolutely stuck. Or rather, not the locomotive, it was the wagons. They just outright refused to release the brakes, and there was nothing I could do. Oh, there we go. Looks like now I will have to slow down. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Okay, speed limit is 60. Okay, almost perfect. It is still gonna take a while for me to release the brakes, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Oh, there we go. Another semaphore will also show 40 or 60. And that's the question. I think all the semaphores in this scenery will show me 60, but can't be sure about it. Right. I'm gonna release the throttle. My brakes should be still releasing, but is it? No, I think they should be already released. So hopefully when I will see the next signal, it won't be showing 40, but 60 instead. And it is 60. With prepare to stop, so I might as well continue at 40. It will be much easier for me to keep my speed. Unfortunately, I will be held at a signal. Not a big deal. So it's even better that my train is slowing down. Now, the biggest difficulty in driving trains in Train Driver. The longest siding can fit only 650 meters long trains. So obviously mine is just 100 meters shorter. And I need to be wary of that. Because if I won't pull far enough to the signal at the other end of that siding, my train will be sticking onto the main line, which is not something I want. There we go. Now let's time it right. I will introduce some brakes now. Okay, the train started to slow down, hopefully rapidly enough for me to actually stop in front of that signal. Yes, everything looks fine. A bit close, but it's always better to... Well, a bit close, yeah. A bit too short, but it's always better to stop a little bit sooner than a bit later. If your train is sticking out, dispatcher should eventually tell you about it and ask you to pull a little bit further or closer to the signal. I should be far enough. In fact, since I'm not sure how long I will be held, I will put the front pantograph up. And I might always go and inspect the end of my train. I'm fairly sure that entire train fits into this siding. I used to drive like 650 meter long trains in Train Driver 2, and I know that it's a pain in the ass sometimes. Especially when you have to stop at a very, very short siding. In my case, I'm pulling only 550 meters long train, so should be alright. Should be. There we go. Yeah, safely within siding limits. End of the train is not too far, not too close. As you can see, yeah, everything fits. If my train would be 100 meters longer, probably the last wagon would be sticking behind that signal and I would have to pull it a little bit further. Right. So now all we can do is wait. I'll be right back with you. Alright, I'm back. Looks like we are going to wait here for a little while. Right, I'm always conflicted when I'm stopped at the red signal with a very long train, because it would be wise to release the brakes now, so that when I'm supposed to depart, I am ready. Oh, there we go. There's another train that... Yeah, it looks like there's another train that pulled onto a signal next to me. And I doubt I will get a higher priority to actually move off. Right, what I'm gonna do, I will try and hold my train using independent brake of my locomotive. Sometimes that's enough. And then I'm gonna release the train brake, because it's gonna take at least 2 to 3 minutes before those brakes are released. And it's better to be ready. There we go. Right, looks like I will spend a little bit longer on that siding. Yeah. Yeah. From what I can understand, the chat, the next station in front of the train that is to my left accepted a delayed train. That is obviously causing a further delay to everyone else because, well, since the train got delayed, it fell off the schedule and everyone else has a priority. However, since they accepted that train and the train is already moving between the stations, there is no way to stop him. So he has to arrive at its destination and make his appearance into the timetable. But obviously, temporarily, he will cause a delays here at Gdańsk. So the train to my left will have to depart in front of me because it's a higher priority train, and then I can depart because I'm ahead of time anyway. And I was supposed to be at this station in next 10 minutes. So yeah, looks like I'm gonna be here for at least 10 minutes, and I predict that might take even more. Well, I'm happy to hear that you are moving again. Unfortunately, I'm not that lucky. Right. We might as well go and explore. There we go. Another screenshot. There we go. Right, so the train next to me managed to depart right now. So hopefully, if he is fast enough, I might be able to depart myself within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Right, with a heavy train you have to watch your ammeters. They are located in the middle. If you keep blowing your circuit breaker, then that means you are pushing your locomotive a little bit too far. So, for... Oh, you can't even turn power on. Make sure that shunt control is at 0, and make sure that your throttle is at 0. You might need to turn or set your reverser to neutral as well. Then reset everything and try again. Before you turn it on, also make sure to turn off air compressor and transformer. You have to turn them after you turn on the power. And you have to turn on transformer, wait for a few seconds, and then turn on the compressor. If you do it too fast or too quick, it will blow them off again. Oh, there we go. I can now set off. See? Told you. Well, I'm glad that it works. Okay, I can now lower the pantograph. There we go. Whew, it takes a lot to get this train moving. Oh wow, Bleppy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for hosting my stream. That's a surprise. Thank you very much. Right. We need to speed up. Because that's a high-speed truck. And driving 30 on it is definitely not the most appropriate thing to do. Okay, I've been booked. Thanks, Bleppy. Oops, back. Yeah. Right, hopefully there won't be any further issues along our route. We still got a long way to go. Right. Where was I? Okay, so I'm doing 60. It would be wise to give it a little bit more juice and get to that 80. Come on, you can do it. It's just 2,900 tons. It should be nothing for this locomotive. Okay, that was alert, huh? This definitely woke me up. Oh, there we go. Okay, a little bit of outside camera action. Why not? Okay, time to jump back to cabin, as we are about to change the scenery. There we go. Right, so we are now approaching Bargowice. Track speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, this train is limited to only 80. You are 55 minutes early. Wow, that's nice. Right now I'm right on time because I've been held at Gdańsk. So hopefully I will be able to regain some of that time and perhaps finish a little bit sooner than I expected. Right, currently I'm doing 75 kilometers per hour. There we go, I just connected to the next station. Let's say hello. Hopefully. Hopefully, we won't be held at red signal. Okay. Let's pump up the volume and let's just enjoy the ride, shall we? Okay, looks like my plan to just relax with the music failed. Mostly because the next station seems to have some technical issues and I will have to depart using, yeah, subsidiary signal, and that will limit my speed significantly. Oh, I'm at the very limit. Hopefully I can make it before that signal will turn itself off. That's the problem with subsidiary signals. They are on for only 90 seconds. So hopefully I'm gonna make it. Okay, it is still on. And it's off now. Oh, there we go. It's on now. Perfect. I'm glad that the dispatcher was paying attention to what's happening. And he restarted the subsidiary signal. Otherwise, I would get automatically punished by the game with some like a warning points for passing signal at danger. Obviously, since this was agreed with the dispatcher, that's not a big deal. It doesn't really happen that often that drivers have to pass signal at danger. But obviously, yeah, the game is programmed to eventually punish me for that. And since the only way for the dispatcher to allow it legally is to present me with a subsidiary signal, which never fails in the game. In reality, it can obviously fail. Right, we can now speed back up to 80. Obviously, it will take some time. So that was Bargowice. And our next station to go through is Sroka, is it? Ryś and Sroka, yeah, those two. That's gonna be interesting. Ooh, and we are also approaching neutral section. Right, let's get to speed as far as we can. Okay, now we need to drop the throttle to 0. And now, since we passed the neutral zone, we can speed back up. Perfect. Right, we are slowly gaining speed back. Currently at around 65 kilometers per hour, which is 15 kilometers below our top speed limit for this consist. Hopefully, we will be able to relax a little bit, listen to the music, and just enjoy. Okay, so looks like things are going really well. Next station already confirmed that the route is clear for me. Perfect. Okay, I think we can now speed up. Ah, I went too far. Right. So, it's a good occasion to show off what's gonna happen. So I pushed the locomotive a little bit too hard. And obviously, I tripped the fuses. So, you turn off the main compressor, you turn off the transformer, because they need to be turned off before you restart the locomotive. As you can see, we are still rolling, which is perfectly fine. You reset traction motors. You reset main circuit breaker. And now you can turn it on. Perfect. Circuit breaker is back on. You can sound a horn because we are approaching railroad crossing and we don't have full control over the train. Now we can turn on transformer. It's gonna take a while for him to start rolling. Perfect. Now we can turn on air compressor, and since it's overloaded, we can unlock it by pressing this green button or Shift plus C. Now we should be ready to drive again. Oh, there we go. We've just reached the end of the scenery. And there we go. We can now increase the throttle. Obviously, since our speed dropped below 40 kilometers per hour, I wouldn't recommend going too fast and too far on the throttle. And since this is a very heavy train, come on, there we go. We need to be very careful while speeding up. There we go. We are gaining speed again. Okay, and that is a full throttle. At least for now. We can always increase it in few more steps. But that will be done if needed. We will see what speed we are able to achieve with full throttle on its own. If that's not enough, we can increase it slightly by increasing the shunt levels. We are also approaching neutral section, so it's worth turning your throttle down. We passed the neutral section. That's the sign for it. Now we can go back to full throttle and carry on. My goodness me, I'm super tired right now. Yeah. Yeah, we are approaching 3.5 hours. Wow. Okay. There we go, thumbs up for the dispatcher, and we can just carry on. So, we are pretty much on time at Pachenchevo. It's 9:15, and we were supposed to be here at 9:16, so 1 minute. So far, it's going really good. We got clear way all the way to Orniki. Perhaps it would be wise to speed up a little bit. Oh, and that's another neutral section. There we go. Perfect. There we go. We are now approaching next scenery, which will be Orniki. We are just on time. And hopefully we will be able to keep that up all the way to Legno. Okay, there we go. We just fully arrived at Orniki. It shouldn't take long now. According to timetable, we got around 20 more minutes. Okay, railroad crossing in front of us is closed. Perfect. Which means barriers are working. We can proceed. There we go. Our entire route seems to be set, which is perfect. Although I think the next signal is... Is it still green? I think it is. I can't make it up. Alright, this one... Oh, no, the next signal is in fact not green, is it? Oh, it is. My goodness me. I really hate when dispatchers are setting the signals right in front of you. That usually causes a lot of confusion. So that signal was already visible to me with a different signal aspect than it ended up being. And that caused me to let the train to coast and eventually drop my speed. So while when I'm driving, let's say, express train, which is pretty light and the locomotive has much more power than it needs to pull that weight, that's fine, yeah. I can modify my speed quite quickly. I can't do that when I'm driving freight train. Everything has to be prepared up front, because otherwise that's how it ends, yeah. I'm now dropping my speed. And it's gonna take a while before engines will catch up. Anyway, that was Orniki station. The next one is Legno, where we will finish our journey. Okay, the next scenery is now loading. It would be wise to actually give a thumbs up to the dispatcher of that post before I will leave it. There we go. I have to admit that road from Legno to from Orniki to Legno, since it's uphill, it really put a lot of strain on that train or on that locomotive. I've set my throttle and shunt level to the very maximum, and I'm barely doing 70. And it doesn't seem like this locomotive can do any more. Although that might change since I got onto Legno track, which is limited to 140, and it seems to be built within standards for high-speed tracks. So hopefully, if the tracks are not going too much uphill, I will be able to speed up. Yeah, the shunt is working, I'm sure about that. There we go. There we go. Almost missed that railroad crossing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right. Just a little bit longer. It looks like this is nice and interesting scenery. I think that's the first time I'm at Legno, so I might eventually go around and have a look how this scenery looks like. Looks like it's very long scenery on top of that. It's been a while since we entered. And we are still traveling. Okay, that's a neutral section. Very short one though. Oh, okay, never mind. Next signal will be stop. Let's let it go. Okay, let's inform. Okay. Perfect. Let's slow down just by a bit. I'm not sure how far is the signal. Although I think, yeah, I was sent on to main track for some reason. And normally what you want to do is to send a freight train onto a side track. You definitely don't want a freight train to stop at the middle track. But, well. Right, I definitely have to pull closer to that signal. I can't stop in here. Oops. That is no good. I definitely don't want to stop just yet. Ooh, the brake seems to be holding much stronger than I expect them to. Okay, never mind. Right, we finished anyway, so let's go out to main menu. Oh, right, so thankfully that issue occurred at the very end of this route. So basically what happened, it looks like I had that nasty bug that sometimes occurs with this type of wagons, where you introduce brakes and they don't release. They remain locked in some of the wagons. So that's why, even though I introduced my brakes at speed of 60 for just a few seconds, the brakes remained on. And instead of just slowing down to like 40, perhaps 30 kilometers per hour to properly pull into the stop signal, my train got stopped way too early, and I was blocking entire junction. When I tried to move out, obviously I managed to blow my fuses because I added too much throttle to counter that braking force. But eventually, when I quickly restarted the locomotive and tried to move off, I'm not sure if you noticed that, but I did. My consist was holding me, and the locomotive tried to pull further, but it couldn't. The engines were like trying to get this locomotive where I wanted it to, but unfortunately the wagons had the different idea. Thankfully I was at the end of the route, so I could easily just press escape and leave, and everything would be fine, because at the end of the day I reached my final destination. Although I couldn't fulfill my own plan to just stop properly at the very end, take some screenshots and eventually leave, which is pretty much standard thing that I always do. Anyway, guys, since that was my last route for tonight, privately I was hoping to do another one, but it's getting late. This one, instead of being shorter than it was supposed to be, it became longer than it's supposed to be. So I decided, you know what, yeah, enough is enough. I've been streaming for past like 3 or 4 days, pretty much day after day, and today I've been already live for nearly 4 hours. So I guess that's enough for a channel on Twitch that is just starting. That's perfectly fine. Like up to 4 hours, that's long enough stream. Obviously, if you want to find out more of my content, you can jump in on my YouTube channel. There is plenty of it. And this stream, if you missed it, no worries. You can also find it on my YouTube channel within the next like 24-48 hours. It will be added to past live streams playlist, and you can watch it there on my YouTube. Right. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new to the channel, please consider to follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. You can also join my Discord server. Links should be below the videos, both on YouTube or Discord, wherever you are watching this this particular episode. And I hope to catch you next time, guys. Bye bye.
Would be nice for the multiplayer.